more dangerous than, say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction.
Yeah, did you catch that little last part? Proving his point just this week, this is an absolutely chilling story. An Arizona mom claimed that scammers used AI to clone her daughter's voice so that they could demand a $1 million ransom. And Joe Rogan issued a warning about AI after someone created a fake, complete version of his podcast. It wasn't him. He never had those guests on. Nothing about it was real with AI technology.
I am not the real Joe Rogan. Let me repeat it once more. I am not Joe Rogan, and the guests are not the people they portray. This is purely fiction, just for fun, so don't go around making little clips for your TikToks and make the world believe I said things I never said. Every single word of this podcast has been generated with the help of ChatGPT.
It's just scary on so many levels, and you think about the potential criminal level of this, Janine. And this mom, her daughter was on a ski trip. She was with her other daughter. She gets a phone call. It's her daughter's voice saying, crying through sobbing tears, "Mom, I messed up. I messed up." Then a guy gets on the phone and says, "I want $1 million if you want your daughter back." And she says, "I don't have the money." Then she gets it down to 50,000. And everybody's trying to help her. They finally figured out that her daughter was okay and was where she thought she was. This is happening a lot, actually.
Well, think about how it happened before AI. I mean, when you got an email or you got a text message or you got a phone call.
This is their voice.
Now, that's the point. Now it's going to be more real than ever. You know, thousands scammed by AI voices mimicking loved ones in emergencies. But in addition to the criminal aspects where they duplicate the voice of a loved one, I mean, you've got the other piece that Elon Musk is talking about, and that is basically the potential of civilization destruction. What concerns me and what I thought was fascinating, and I don't know if I'm pro or con on this. I know I don't know enough, but they had a woman who had
never
lost.
stopped you before. So
Stop it. Thanks a lot. But the woman who had lost her 7-year-old daughter, and she used AI to try to duplicate her daughter's voice. And they had a picture of the daughter, and you could see with these mechanical hands, she was trying to grab onto her daughter who's deceased. I can see people who lose a loved one, a husband loses a wife. I got to hear them again. I got to see them again. This is going to change our lives. What about the guy with the top secret access to Chera, 21 years old? All right. How many people are going to do that and use that as an opportunity to continue to sell information? You know, we're not ready for this. We're absolutely not ready for it. But I worry about the psychological capacity that people have to deal with this, whether it's fear, whether it's emotional trauma. We're already on the edge. Half of us are crazy. Not this half, that half.
Clearly.
Yes. But it's crazy.
I mean, when you think about, Harold, what Elon Musk has been able to do in his life, right? Rockets, electric vehicles. He's trying to
AI.
take over Twitter. And now he's starting a new AI business. He's worked at it and researched it for a long time. Do you think that he has the potential to I mean, everyone is looking for someone to save the world from the dangers of this. You know, can he do that? Can anybody do that at this point?
Well, I think he is the Steve. I'm 52. He's I think a little older than I am. He is the Steve Jobs of our generation. We have praised him around this table for many things, and we've been mildly critical at times, and we thought that he deserved criticism. His voice, to me, is the leading voice around technology. And for him to say what he said there in the clip we showed, an interview with Tucker, which I look forward to watching, should disturb us all and make us all have some pause. I have a very clear position on this, and I disagreed with your person who occupies that seat most nights, Dana, in saying I think we should pause. We don't know enough about this. Our concerns about China surpassing us. Look, China has to be concerned about the same things we're concerned about with this technology. Can an autocracy be upended? If hundreds of millions of people in the country decide to use AI or organize around some AI tool to do that. So they have concerns as well. So I think we pause to understand what Elon Musk is suggesting. And even not only him, there are a number of technologists and others who've suggested that there's a problem. The judge and I talked about this on one of the first days this issue came up, and we talked about who do you sue if you're defamed? We heard our own colleague, Jonathan Turley, had a horrible thing happen to him. Who do you sue? Who do you try to seek justice from when something like that happens? So the pause, I think, is necessary for a variety of reasons.
Who do you sue? Typical lawyer.
Well, who do you hold accountable?
Right.
I'm going to hold you accountable. That's what you just want me to do.
Jesse, the Biden administration says that they want to have regulations around AI, but you get the very unnerving feeling that they and most of everybody doesn't really understand this. I think Elon Musk has probably a much better handle on it than they do, but they want to start putting regulations on it. Does that concern you?
Well, Biden wants to regulate it because if anyone's going to be replaced with AI, it's Joe Biden. I'm going to take an artificial stance on artificial intelligence. By the time this thing gets going, I'm going to be dead. So I don't care. I don't understand
Is it
it.
going to take that long?
So I don't care. I don't pretend to understand it like some people, so I don't care. A robot can't replace me. I'm not going to interview a robot. A robot would never assassinate me. It's inefficient. The problem is this. Elon Musk is building robot cars. So he has all these worries because his robot cars are all crashing. His robot cars run by AI are driving into lakes and they're blowing up or they're driving into the middle of a railroad track. So that's what he's worried about. You need the human touch behind the wheel of a self-driving AI car. But for instance, let's say I'm driving down the highway and I look to my right. And what do I see? I see a couple fornicating in the next door's car. Now, do I slow down? I'd probably speed up. Does a robot car see the other car couple fornicating? No. They stay right in their lane. They don't notice the fornicating. And then that fornicating couple's car crashes into them. That's why you need someone behind the wheel. Sully is a great example. Sully saved lives. He took the wheel of that jet and made it come down. A robot couldn't have done that. Everyone gets worried when there's new technology that's introduced. It happened with the printing press. It happened with nukes. It happened with the synthesizer. All the pianists were in a pickle. Oh, I mean, they're going to steal my job, these synthesizers. Plenty of pianists still around there. The point is this. You're not going to replace workers with these robots because you can't cannibalize your economy. You need consumers. Also, notice when Americans got fat and depressed. 1978, if you look at the BMI charts, boom, we all blow up into big blimps. That's because we stopped doing heavy work and all sat behind desks in front of computers. Now we're all fat and stupid and depressed because we have the machines doing everything. Do you want to be the president of the United States that lets 50 million robots replace 50 million human jobs? No. So it's not good for them either.
I don't know. I think about Y2K, and they told us that was going to, end the entire globe at that point, and cloning was going to, suddenly everybody was going to be cloned. It was a panic. So I don't know whether this falls in that category or not, Greg.
Yeah, well, after that artificial stance, I think my brain is fried. I think you've absolutely, completely.
I did the impossible. I fried Gutfeld's brain.
Yeah. So there are two kinds of AI, right? There's the information catcher, right, and then there is the thing maker. So I want to separate them because there's two challenges in this. The information catcher is, let's say you have a mole on your shoulder, and you take a picture of it, you put it into your doctor, you put it into your AI doctor. The doctor has control over all the information in the universe. Every medical study going back hundreds and hundreds of years has every study, everything, and comes back and tells you it's this kind of thing, and it's 99.99999, but way better than any doctor. Tells you what surgery, what you need to do. The problem is who inputs that info, and does it have a bias? The problem is all human beings have biases, therefore AI will have a bias too. So the ultimate kind of decision making in this area for human beings will be choosing an AI whose bias you favor. It's going to be just like cable news. You're going to have a Fox News AI that you trust because it's transparently biased. They know our opinions. You're going to trust it, but you can't have a CNN AI because they lie. They never tell you what they believe. So what's going to happen is ultimately a biased AI will create. It'll be a world of different kinds of AI. So then you get to the AI that makes things, and you run into the problem. What do you do when you create a machine that thinks without being conscious, right? It's like a meter maid writing a ticket. You can't get her to stop. That's the problem when AI, artificial intelligence, reaches super intelligence, where it's so recursive, it's faster thinking, and if it has a goal of making a ham and cheese sandwich, and you're in the way of it making a ham and cheese sandwich, it has no moral problem with getting rid of you. It has one goal. So artificial intelligence, the danger here is super intelligence will have a goal that will put before any kind of moral reasoning.
Make ham and cheese.
Yes.
So
those are the two things. So the pause is really about the making of things because you don't want this machine to get out of hand. But the other thing on us is we have to understand, we have to look at AI just like we look at news, that there's bias and there's human bias.
I've tried to stop people from writing tickets. They always say the same thing. I can't stop once they start writing.
That's non-conscious thinking. It's incredible.
You use fornication, synthesizer, and pianist all in the same.
Apparently that happens all the time on the highway where Jesse drives.
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey now.
All right, coming up next.